Barcelona, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. Oh, that's the right city, right?
Yep. 100%. 100%. All those cowboys in that musical.
In Spain, right?
Yep, 100%.
What game did we just play?
Barcelona.
Barcelona, where the wind comes sweeping down the plain. Okay. Joking aside, we have played this twice. We learned it today. It's snowing outside here in Utah, by the way. This is a semi-serious review, which means we've only played it twice, and we're just giving you our first impressions. Now, this game came out last year in 2023. I think it debuted somewhere in the Essen area, and some people liked it. It was hard to get. For a while. It's easy to get now. And we got it, and we've been thinking about it for a while. It's been on the table probably for about a week now.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we do it. Just set it up and leave it on the kitchen table. You try to eat and you're like, are we going to play this game?
No.
I got cats all over the place here. All right, so we played it twice, and so we can go into it in a lot of fun ways, but the first thing I look for in a game like this, and that's probably why we're doing this review, is I look for a spark. You know, like when I met Jennie, there was a spark.
Like a board game.
I was like, do you like board games? Do you feel that spark between us? There was mutual board game attraction.
Yes, exactly.
There's a spark in the board game. You know what I mean? Like it's fun. We both played Earth this year. Mm-hmm. And it's a big game. It's number one on a lot of people's lists. And while we both liked it, me way more than her, I don't know that it had any spark for us.
I'm not a real fan.
Yeah, she didn't get a real big spark out of it.
No, I don't really prefer it.
So what are some games like Mosaic?
Mosaic, huge spark. Great Wall.
Great Wall.
Dune,
Uprising. And the first one, yeah.
And the first one.
Definitely Ark Nova.
Ark Nova.
So you just look
Meadow.
No.
Uh-oh.
You're going to see a tail in a second.
It's an interloper. Don't mind it. It's just a furry tentacle.
All right. Barcelona, what'd you think? Let's start with the production values. What'd you think about those?
I think production values, are top notch. I think, we have the kind of cardboard. I don't know if there's a deluxified version of this game.
I don't think so.
So we have, it has cardboard pieces and things like that, but they're really nicely done, thick, well put together. They don't peel off. So I think as far as the production value, really great game, really well done. Beautiful game. Beautiful game. I don't know if that's under production or aesthetic.
I think so. Yeah, I was going to go there next. What do you think of the art?
Gorgeous. I absolutely love the art on this game. The colors are beautiful. The way that it all lays out and just the board. So well done. So well done. Such a beautiful game.
It was funny, when we were playing it, the first game, she just kept going, this is really pretty.
Yeah.
This really looks good.
It's just got these kind of pastel cherry pinks and these kind of minty greens and these beautiful blues, and it's just gorgeous.
Yeah. It's not deluxified. It has cardboard coins and so forth. But if you have to play with those. No, it's just a board game, and it looks good.
Yeah.
It definitely looks good. Okay, what did you think of the theme of building a city? So let me tell you the theme before we get too far into this. It's like a Euro game, so there's no dice or anything. You're just doing things. And it's not worker placement, but I call it a Euro trash game because there's no dice. But yeah, it's the idea is that at some history point, I don't know my history very well, but I know enough that there was a architect named Serta, and he got to design a big part of the city of Barcelona, and it was designed in a way to be absolutely beautiful and pleasing. It was like not what you would see today. And so this game is us as architects or city planners or something like that, building it out. And while the city pieces don't have, they're not 3D pieces or plastic, which would be an awesome upgrade if it ever got that far. Right now, it just looks beautiful, and you're building them out by putting cardboard pieces and cities out there and going for points. So what do you think of the theme of building the city?
So I wasn't particularly excited about the theme. When you told me about it, I was kind of like, oh, okay. I mean, we've played games before where you build out a city, and so I was just curious as to how this was going to be different or, more exciting than other games. So yeah, I wasn't terribly drawn to the idea of it. But then when you started explaining, okay, Serta and the architect, and it has to be a certain way and beautiful, and you can gain points for creating more architecturally appealing things, and so then that started to sound a little more interesting. Plus the setting of Barcelona also, I think, makes this game a little more interesting.
Yeah. How did you think the theme came through in the actual game?
I think it came through really nicely. I think it's, there's so much to do in the game, so many different things that are going on in the game, so many different ways to score points. And I really enjoyed the way that the theme came through, and, kind of competing with one another to get these plots built and to upgrade these plots and to make them even better than your neighbor, and building up the roads and big roads and little roads. And so I think the theme is it carries through really nicely.
And I was able to send my assassins into one of her buildings and blow it up. That was really fun.
No, that's not part of the game.
It's not part of the game.
That's called a cat.
Yeah, in the middle of the game, our cat Lucy jumped up. I walked outside to take the trash out and came back, and Jenny's like, "Ugh." I was like, what happened? She goes, Lucy.
It's a little tricky of a game to have to piece back together
It was a mess.
once things have been shifted around.
So what did you like and what did you not like?
Good question. Again, I love the look of this game. I loved how many different things you can do and the ways that you can score. And like, you and I took totally different approaches in the last game we played, and it was really, really close. I love that you can have giant swings in points. So, if someone goes up 30, 40 points on you, you can easily make that ground back just in your next turn. So I thought that was really fun too, because you can score massive points all at once. But yeah, I think just the diversity and the way that you can score and the different actions you're trying to take, and really trying to create the biggest possible combo that you can with where you are placing your people. So you basically place your people out on a board, and they are in a grid where you can kind of get certain things, and you can really string together some pretty amazing turns that go on and on and on and on as you're doing this, which I thought was really fun.
One thing I liked is that I generally, when you're going to tell me that you're going to score 200 or 300 points, I really kind of worry that someone's going to have 300 and someone's going to have 50.
Yeah.
And Jenny and I played twice, and I mean, there was times when she was ahead the whole first game, and I was ahead most of the whole second game. But then suddenly,
I won both.
Yeah, she
I
did.
won both games. The point swing.
The point swing, yeah. But they were both close.
Yeah.
Like we were both in the 280 or 90 point range, and we were within 10 points of each other. So that was very satisfying.
Yeah.
That was very satisfying, because I'm not the biggest fan of 290 points. That's ridiculous. But it worked. It really worked. And, okay, so what did you not like? Or what? I'll do that in two ways. What did you not like, and what can you see other people not liking?
What did I not like? So, this is kind of, oh.
That was my phone. But if you hold on, I'm just going to grab it and make sure it's not shattered and destroyed, and you see me cry on the phone. Okay, it's not.
No, it's fine. What did I not like? This is kind of actually small and silly, but the game, the board is beautiful, the pieces are beautiful, kind of the cardboard things that you're getting are beautiful. The plots of land that you put out when you build something they're not so beautiful. And that surprised me. I really feel like they kind of should have kept with the theme of the colors that they were using and things like that. So, but the plots, they're not terribly appealing. So there's one side which tells you which resources you won or didn't win, and what the criteria you need to meet to build that building. But then when you flip that building, it's actually kind of ugly. And I found that pretty disappointing because the game overall is absolutely gorgeous.
So what's really funny is I like the flipped over side easier.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I thought it looked really good. Because the other side is pastels. She's
It's
like, oh,
pretty.
it's pastels. I'm like, ugh, it's pastels. Flip that thing over. That's funny.
Huh.
What can you see other people maybe not liking? Like I did a good one, like the points.
Yeah, yeah.
And the terrible art on the beautiful cities.
Not liking. I mean,
Oh,
there's a lot going on in this game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of different options, and so definitely the first playthrough was pretty turbulent, and I just had to tell myself, like, just try things and just figure it out. It wasn't a game that at first was incredibly intuitive. I mean, it's easy. I didn't learn the rules, but it was easy once he taught me how to play it to understand what I was doing, but I didn't understand why I was doing it. So I think that could be a little bit of a hurdle for some people, is just take your first game to just actually figure out how things work and not really worry about winning so much.
Yeah, I thought our first game, we were just doing that. We're messing around. We're just messing around and doing things. And you could see in the second game, like her first move, she just says, okay, boom, boom, I'm going to move here, I'm going to move here, I'm going to move here. I'm like, the first time we played it, the explosion of you got one little thing to do and it turns into, this event and it moves on and on. You're like going, wow, what a turn. You get that satisfaction of, it's really exciting when you pull off a turn.
Yeah.
It's really
a
exciting.
big turn.
But we didn't figure that the game was even capable of that until about 80% of the way through the first play. Yeah, Jenny just did this big turn. And I was like, oh, this thing can do that. That was really surprising. The second game, her first turn was, oh, let's maximize this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not sure that's something someone wouldn't like. The thing I was going to say that someone might not like is it definitely, there were moments when I went, okay, like this is bring your brain online. And it could be negative if someone stopped the whole game to analyze every move. And I had one play where I just sat and went through every little iteration. And she probably sat there for 10 minutes. Is that long? Maybe 7 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't that long.
And it was like, and I got frustrated because the thing I wanted to do, I couldn't. And I was just trying to find a way. So there's a little bit of, I could see people saying, whoa, if the term analysis paralysis could really happen here.
It could.
It could. The first game was, I didn't have any analysis paralysis because I didn't care. The second game, I really cared. So that could be something. And there's no dice, and you can't send people into your enemy's building to blow it up. That's a big negative. Big negative. Okay. What's your initial rating? Understanding from 1 to 10, remember? Mm-hmm. What would you give it 2 games in, and do you want to ever play it again?
I definitely want to play this game again. I really, really enjoyed it, and I would give it a 7.5 right now.
7.5.
Mm-hmm.
One thing was that we played it once, and I said, do you want to play it again? She said, yeah. I was like, okay, I want to play it again. I had that spark.
Yeah.
And she said, let's put this game away, but don't put it all the way away, because I want to play it again. So that's a good sign, right? That's an exciting feeling that you don't want to put it away. What kind of game does that, right? It's like, oh, we have to pull that out. That wasn't that way at all. Mm-mm. Pulling off the moves was really exciting for me. And she did some moves that I literally went, that's pretty cool. Like I was even going, that's pretty cool what you just pulled off. And it felt tight. It felt like there were so many things you could do. And I get worried about games like that. And my big example of that is Endless Winter. where it was just too much stuff that didn't work for me. It didn't mesh for me. It didn't feel like it meshed.
It was hard to remember the different pieces, but I feel like this one is so well connected, so you don't forget all the different parts and pieces you can do and how they can all domino one another.
Yeah, and it's designed by Danny Garcia and by Board and Dice, and I don't know anything about him except or her. Could be a girl. Don't know. But I have some memory. I should probably edit this, but I'm not going to. That this is this person's second design, and the first one was supposed to be pretty good too. But I could be completely wrong there. Whoever, I think this is a really good design. I felt safe in its hands. It just didn't do anything that threw me off. You ever done it? You're playing a game, you're like, that's not fair, or that's not right. It never does that. You're just going, oh, that makes sense. This makes sense. It's well designed. It's tight. It's a good storyline. I feel, and that so I could relax within the game and never have to really worry that something crazy was going to happen. My bottom line is that it got me a little excited. Like, oh yeah. So I like games that do that. Will it last? We have no idea. We've had a few games that were exciting and then we broke them or something, right? So what were your feelings? Like, try to speak at it from an emotional point of view. What did you feel?
Again, really eventually drawn to the theme, in other words, Barcelona and the aesthetic, and then started to find that pretty exciting. But then once you started to hit the combos and how everything started, you know, one move led to another move that led to three more moves that led to another move, and that's when it really drew me in. That's when I got really excited about this game.
And there's another thing to say is there's this end game scoring feature, as most games like this have. So you do all your scoring and then you score your end games. And sometimes those end game scorings can feel really jarring to me. This felt like it was woven, well designed within. It's like everything made sense and you saw it coming. And I think there were a couple things the first game where we were like, oh, we need to focus more on this aspect of end game scoring. But once we did the second game, we knew where we were going with it. Right. Like, it was very deliberate. You choose tiles for your end game scoring, and then you get to work on that. And it's visible. Everyone knows what we're working on, you know. So, and it was able to be done really well. Sigh.
So what do you give it? What rating?
So right out of the gate, just for fun, I give it an 8. She's probably wiser to go 7.5, but I reserve the right to change that tomorrow and give it a 3. It's hot garbage.
It's not gonna happen.
Probably not, no. Fun game. It's kind of why we play games. We were both sitting, we set it up so we were both on the same side of the table, just like we're sitting here. So we're sitting next to each other, and it worked out really well. I felt like we were just both into the game, right? Yeah. While watching the beautiful, beautiful snowfall outside in Utah. Happy winter. Okay, everybody. My name is Jason.
I'm Jenny.
This is the Game Warrior. We have been we have been reviewing, quick review. So take this with a grain of salt. Barcelona. And I watched a how to play video by two how to play videos. The guy's name is Tarrant, and he's with a lady, and I can't remember her name, even though I watch her all the time. So I forgot their channel. Everyone should know who I'm talking about if you're in the know. And I watched the brothers Murph do a playthrough, and that was fun. That's really easy to pick it up just like that. And I thought, I think Nate is the brother Murph who does a little walkthrough of it. It's a like 3-minute short version, and it just makes it all make sense. And then you watch them play, and like 10 minutes later, you're like, oh, I think I got this. And we didn't have to reference the rules too often. So, all right, everybody, go out and get it. Barcelona. Barcelona, where the wind and the rain never shines. That was like a downer ending, wasn't it? Ooh, cringe. Okay, everybody, thanks for watching. Barcelona, we enjoyed it. We'll follow up. We'll let you know in a few weeks or months or years how we like it when we get to the end of the year, if it's on our end of year list. But right now, we just had a fun Sunday together, 2-player game. It worked really well, and we really had a lot of fun. So, till next time, I will say it again. This is Jason.
This is Jenny.
Of the Game Warrior. What was I saying the other? How was I ending this? Oh, all is well. No, that wasn't it. That's terrible.
May the force be with you.
I wish you well. That was it. I have a sincere and deep, kind wish for you to be well.